G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Big shout out to the sponsors of the channel, my boy Fast Classic and my boy Matt. All the information is in the description box, and please follow your boy on Instagram at BoxWithG5 Jeff TV. That's BOXWIT G5 Jeff TV. Now, Canelo Alvarez got a knockout victory over Sergey Kovalev last night on DAZN. And what should be next for Canelo Alvarez? He's one of the few guys in boxing that has options at 3 different weight classes, like 175, 168, and 160. And as far as I'm concerned, Canelo was going to be in a little bit of a dilemma. Canelo, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, they've been having some disagreements, some back and forths. You can kind of tell that Canelo, I don't know if he's just getting tired of Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, or, you know, he's just trying to get his way out of the Golden Boy contract. But Canelo made some comments recently saying that Oscar De La Hoya was just a business relationship. It was just a business partner. Like, he really wasn't a friend of his. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Oscar probably really doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Canelo, you got leverage at the end of the day. But Canelo Alvarez is going to probably have a lot of political stuff going on. But let me explain that. DAZN signed Triple G basically to a $100 million contract. There's no way DAZN keeps Canelo Alvarez and Triple G if they're not fighting each other again for the 3rd time. Like, that was part of DAZN's thinking when they gave Triple G the deal. Now, Canelo, of course, was more of a commitment. You know, 11 fights, $365 million. Of course, there's, you know, stipulations, red tape, things involved with that contract. But for Triple G, a lot of his contract is strictly getting the Canelo fight, getting the 3rd fight for Triple G and Canelo on DAZN. And I think it's bad. It's kind of a bad calculation on DAZN's part, strictly because there's not a lot of people checking for Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev. Like, they're not checking for it. Is it a good fight? Yes. Was the first 2 fights good? Yes. Were they great? No. They weren't great fights. Like, they wasn't legendary fights. They weren't fights to go down in the history books. They were just controversial. They weren't, you know, they weren't legendary fights. So DAZN is throwing all of this money around to Triple G just to get a 3rd fight with Canelo Alvarez. Like, it just is a waste of money. Like, it's a waste of money. Like, they could have just not signed Triple G. Like, they should have been able to gauge whether Canelo was going to fight Triple G again. Because regardless of how many people think Triple G won the first 2 fights, Canelo still got all the juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still got all the juice at the end of the day. So, bad calculation on DAZN's part. And Canelo Alvarez, you know, going forward, me personally, I'm going to break it down in tiers. I'm going to start at 175. Canelo's not fighting none of the killers at 175. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Sergey Kovalev a killer, but he one of them older killers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that lion that, you know, been taking over the jungle for a while, but, you know, he getting older, getting long in the tooth, and, you know, that young OG come by. You know, that young, I said a young OG. I said a young OG. Ain't that something? That young lion is going to come in and knock out that old lion. And that's what Sergey Kovalev is. Sergey Kovalev, a killer. You know, he's just an older killer. Canelo's not going to fight Artur Beterbiev. He's not going to fight Dmitry Bivol. He's not going to fight none of those dudes at 175. Like, 175 is pretty thick. So don't expect Canelo to be fighting none of those young killers up there at 175. Now, 168, I don't see him fighting Callum Smith. I don't see him fighting Caleb Plant. I don't see him fighting David Benavidez. Those would be the top three guys at 168. I don't see that happening. 160, I mean, it's Boo Boo Andrade, Triple G, Jamal Charlo. I don't see him fighting any of them either. Like, I don't know what I don't know what Canelo gonna do. I don't know what Canelo's gonna do going forward. But at the end of the day, he's the most popular guy in the sport, and an opportunity is gonna fall in his lap. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make an opportunity for Canelo Alvarez going forward. But it's gonna be interesting because not only do you not know what opponent he's gonna choose, you don't know what weight class he's going to be in. You don't know if he's going to fight at 175, 168, 160. You just don't know. I just don't want to see him go down from 175 to 160. We've seen in the past how guys drop a drastic amount of weight from one fight to their next fight and it don't work out. I think Roy Jones going to heavyweight, that was a downfall for his career, because when he came back down to 175, he just wasn't the same. He wasn't the same. His body wasn't the same. And that's why Antonio Tarver put them paws on him twice. You know what I mean? And Roy Jones is probably my second favorite fighter of all time outside of James Lights Out Tony. But it's going to be real interesting to see what Canelo does. But Canelo can fight, man. Y'all say what y'all want about Canelo. Canelo can fight. Canelo can fight. And there's not a lot of guys that can beat Canelo Alvarez. And that's just what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all.